yourself down. Hey, welcome to the Jonathan Ross Show, and as you know, I'm sure, I am a man who loves his fashion, OK? Thank you. I like to see what's being worn, what's coming up, what's new, and fellas, this is what Paris is saying we're all going to be wearing later this year. Look at this. For real. That's the new look. Oh, you're laughing now, but you'll be wearing it. I don't know who the designer is. I think it might be SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm not... Does he know he left the coat hanger in? Does he know, do you think? Pointed that out? Now, that is either the latest fashion, or maybe it's Anthony Worrell Thompson shoplifting a flat-screen telly. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether he's got a television in there. Now, this is cool. Last week, American president... I love this clip, OK? And how cool is President Barack Obama? He was making a speech in New York. Someone told him, while he was making a speech, that in the audience of the people he was talking to, the soul legend, singing sensation, one of the greatest voices ever, Al Green, was in the audience. This is how Barack responded to the news.
I'm so in love with you.
How cool is that? He can do it, he's got it going on. What would we'd have had David Cameron trying to rap Bonkers by Dizzy Rascal. But Russia has already responded, and you know, they don't always get along. They've already responded with a strongly worded ballad. Take it away, Prime Minister Vladimir Putin. What a voice! And that's a clip from the Russian show KGB's Got Talent. I'm not saying they're scared of him, but the 3 judges have given him 4 yeses. Let's have a look and see who's on the show tonight. We've got a great lineup for you, ladies and gentlemen. My first guest is the stand-out, stand-up and star of Fresh Meat. It's young Mr. Jack Whitehall. There he is. Hey, Jack, how are you? Hello. Looking good. Young Jack. Very funny young man. Jack is also, you don't mind me saying this, you're also quite posh, aren't you, Jack?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly. A tad.
I think he's so posh, when he first saw Downton Abbey, he thought he was shameless.
This suit is actually from TK Maxx.
There you go.
I'm wearing this evening.
Oh, really? Really?
Yep. With a Primark sock.
Wow.
There. And a shoplifted shirt to finish off the look.
Jack Whitehall, ladies and gentlemen, and I think you'll agree, he's a very handsome young man. If Glee had werewolves, that's what they'd look like. My next guest is the star of the Golden Globe-winning TV phenomenon that is Downton Abbey itself. It's Hugh Bonneville. Yo. Hugh, great to see you.
Good to be here.
OK, now, I'm excited about those guests, but now I'm getting really excited because my next guests are a pair of lovable Muppets. No, not Jedward. It is Kermit and Miss Piggy.
Thank you very much. Oh, wonderful.
Slightly got here. Look at that. Showbiz royalty. Kermit, of course,
yes.
You look stunning. And Miss Piggy, you look fabulous.
Oh, why, thank you.
You look gorgeous. I hope you don't mind me asking, have you had any work done?
Oh, well, perhaps 1 or 2 things.
Jonathan, can I point out at this point, I'm feeling slightly uncomfortable. There's a man underneath the sofa with his hand up my arse. I think he might have got the wrong...
Wow, must be uncomfortable. That could be
I
tough.
don't know whether he got the wrong guess.
I think you know he got the right guest, Jack. He got the guest who asked for the special treatment. Kermit and Miss Piggy on the show, ladies and gentlemen. How lucky we are to have them here. You've got to love them. And we have some tremendous music for you tonight from one of the best bands ever, the Arctic Monkeys. There they are. There they are. Look at them. That's them. There they are. Right there. Yeah. Drinking beer and everything. Thanks. We didn't book them on the show, but they heard the Muppets one and we just couldn't keep them out, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, so in the Arctic Monkeys, they're going to be performing live right over there. OK, now, just before we get on with that, some good news for you this week, because scientists have discovered, and they're claiming this is true, that curry is actually very good for you. And it's not just good for you, it can actually be used for medicinal purposes, OK? In future, you don't have to bother going to A&E. you'll be rushed straight to your local Indian restaurant. If you know someone with a dodgy tikka, take him to the Star of India. Tikka, dodgy tikka. And if they don't cure you in half an hour, you get a free side dish. You don't overdo it, because I know someone who slipped into a coma. I feel my work here is done. And it really does work, even with serious cases, because if you've got a broken leg, you can get a plaster cast here, and look, this is guaranteed to help you. It's getting that got dangerously close. That was dangerously close to a slow hand clap. Let's get my first guest out. Before we do, let's take a look at him in the hit comedy Fresh Meat.
It's Dave. He knows. Knows what? Everything. I don't know. That we both shagged Josie? Oh, bollocks. He's on his way.
Oh, shit, my pants!
Top bathroom, safe house. Go!
Kingsley? Kingsley? Before I kick this door down, has anybody else in there had sex with my fiancée?
Just me. I'm Chester Chan, and I'm from China. I am a Kung Fu expert. Unless you go away, I'll come out there and karate kick your ass!
No, Dave, there's no one else. That's just JP doing a silly voice.
Why did you tell him?
Will you please welcome Mr. Jack Whitehall?
See, young man.
Oh, how nice to have Jack here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm
A
thinking...
little awkward moment in the green room there, because
Oh,
you know
really?
you put out all the snacks, all the twiglets and stuff.
Yeah, we're generous.
There was a bowl of pork scratchings, and I was next to Miss Piggy, and she didn't know what they are. She's like, what are these? And I was like, well, probably your cousins.
Oh.
And it was awful.
You know, I think she's overcome, she's encountered that kind of thing before. Miss Piggy, you come
She's
to
very
that kind of thing?
alluring.
You know, they were very tasty, that's all I can say.
Oh, no.
Miss Piggy is really sexy, isn't she?
Yeah, but you know what, Jack? You're the age. How old are you, Jack?
Well, no, I'm 23. I'm 23.
Okay, you're the age where you find just most people you find sexy, don't you? Don't you just... Because you've just got hormones bubbling around inside you. If I wasn't here right now, you'd be doing things on that couch that we wouldn't want to film.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But Miss Piggy falls into the same bracket as the loose women, and you look at them. No, not in the back, no, not like that. But you know, like you look at them and you think, Linda Bellingham, would I? Yeah, probably. And then
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, presumably, I imagine you keep the kind of hours where you can watch loose women because you have... Your work is in the evening, and then maybe you're stand-up.
So that's why I became a stand-up, so I would never miss out on loose women.
Now, does it feel, Jack, that it's happened quickly for you? Because I know you are now... I don't mean this in a bad way, you're kind of everywhere. You've got the stand-up tour, you sold out your last tour, and you're a very popular stand-up. Fresh Meat is doing very well, you've got a documentary thing coming up. Does it seem like a kind of sudden success to you, or do you feel like... is the time right?
Oh, I don't know. I'm very... I'm always, like, wake up and I feel so lucky to be where I am, and I'm worried that, you know, I'm all over the place. I think, like, one advert and then everyone will just hate me.
No, I wasn't implying you were everywhere, but I mean, you know, are you equipped to deal with this level of success? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I think I'm growing up quite quick. Like, I'm growing up faster than maybe, you know, a normal person my age might. I mean, like, the other day, this is when I realised I was properly becoming an adult, and this has never happened before. I was at home with my girlfriend, and I turned down sex because I had heartburn. Now, that should not happen. And she was there on the bed. She was like, Jack, I'll do anything for you. Fetch me some Gaviscon. Like, I've changed.
Well, that shows a certain maturity in you.
I know.
You know. So you said you were at home with your girlfriend, so you're not at home with your parents anymore. You've moved out from... When did you leave home? When did you move out from home?
I moved out about 8 months ago, and I'm in a sort of little granny flat.
Little flat. So on the same plot of land?
I'm
is
quite
your
near
parents?
my mum, yes.
So does she come around to see you? She helps out at home? Does she...
Yeah, well, she doesn't tell me she's coming around. Like, I'll go into my flat and open the fridge and she would have filled it up. She does another thing, like, I have a lady to come around and help me clean because I'm not very good, like, domestically.
Yeah.
And my mum will, not break in, she's not that weird. She has a key, so she'll open the key to the door of my house and then she'll clean up my flat before the cleaner arrives so that it's clean before the cleaner gets there because she's embarrassed that the cleaner would come and find unclean things. So by the time the cleaner arrives, I just sit there and have a cup of tea and we're like, well, there's not much for you to do, let's watch Loose Women.
Is the cleaner worried? Does she bear any resemblance to Linda Bellingham? Does the hand creep over?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We make some dirt.
Jack, what's the deal with...
Sorry, that was horrible. That was horrible. It was unnecessary.
Yeah, but at least she's equipped with the right stuff to make it clean afterwards, I imagine.
Well, I do. Like, I'm quite domestic now. Like, doing things that, you know, I never normally do. Like, I had a friend over for tea. Yeah, no, I do that now. Like, because I used to go out to clubs and, you know, drink WKD and then cop off with women by bins. And now I have friends over and we drink herbal teas and watch Eggheads. Wow. So I had a friend over and I gave my friend the tea and my friend went to put the tea on the table. I put a coaster underneath.
Wow. You're house proud as well.
House proud.
Okay. So that's not... But so your parents must be pretty proud of you. I know that they're kind of involved in showbiz. You grew up in a sort of showbiz scenario. Is that right?
Yeah, well, my dad was, he was an agent for actors for a while, and he looked after sort of various people. So, yeah, it wasn't like that. My mum was an actress as well, but it never really took off. Like, she was in Woof, which is, yes, there was a couple of laughs there, you remember it. It was a detective crime drama about a dog that could turn into a boy.
So, presumably they watch your show as well? I mean, do you feel conscious of their kind of approval or otherwise?
Yeah, I mean, I watched quite a lot of stuff with them. I watched Fresh Meat with them when it first came out, and...
Well, we should, because it's very, very popular, but we should set it up for people who haven't seen it yet. It's a kind of comedy set in the world of students, isn't it? Manchester University, and it's fairly full-on, isn't it?
It's quite full-on. Yeah, there's quite... well, in the first episode, there's a scene where I, you know, do the deed. Yeah. I don't normally say it like that. If I'm like,
you're being more polite in front of me than your parents. So
no, because I'm worried because it's ITV and normally I'm on Channel 4 where you'd be like, yeah, in the arse. And here you have to be like, no, you have to be careful, you know.
I can't even touch that. I can't even go there. No. All right, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes,
I'm really sorry.
So you were
Where was I?
Fresh
Yes,
Meat. You were enjoying the company of a young lady.
Yes, there was a scene with a lady, and I'd completely forgotten that it was in the first episode. So I invited my parents along to watch the screening of the first episode, and I was sat there in this cinema, and it dawned on me that this scene was about to come up, and it came up, and I was. You know, and I looked over and my mum was just like, she couldn't even look.
Oh, what a childhood thing to see,
I turned to my dad and he was like, oh, he's got his father's rhythm. I was like, no. It's awful. Yeah. Sorry. I'm very sorry.
OK. Fresh Meat is very successful and very popular, not just with the boardrooms, but students in particular like it. And I would have thought, you know, when you're holding up a mirror to their life, it's hard to get that right. How accurate do you think it is? Is it a reflection? Because you didn't finish your course, but you went to Manchester University as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Manchester where it's all set, and yeah, and I think it is. I think it's pretty accurate. Like, my character is sort of posh, swaggering arse, which is a big stretch for me. No, it was, because, you know, inner-city state school boy like myself playing that part.
Can you play common? If you were given a part now, say we gave you a part in Misfits...
And Channel 4 wanted me for Top Boy, but I wasn't available.
Yeah. Let's say, can you do urban for me? Can you do a kind of gritty... let's hear it. Let's hear some. Come on, blood.
Pow pow. Now again.
Papow is a Thai dish, I believe, isn't it?
Guns and stuff. Pull! One gun. always get that wrong.
Yeah, but it's close. You're in the right
I'm in the right area.
So you went to, what did you study at university?
I studied history of art for a little bit. But I had this flatmate who I sort of based my character on, who went to Eton, and he was so like, just like JP. And I always remember he did this thing when he was chatting up women, which is so JP, but he genuinely did this in real life. You couldn't write it. He used to go up to women, he used to say, yeah, so I'm Hugo. That was his name. Of course his name was Hugo. Yeah. And they call my penis the truth, because no one can handle the truth. That was a genuine line. He didn't get much action in university.
I'm surprised he didn't get punched in the face every night. OK, let's talk about this new thing you're doing, a series called Hit the Road, Jack. You've already filmed this? You've already done them all?
Yeah.
It starts on Channel 4 next month. And it's, what is it? It's a documentary series? It's a travel thing?
It's sort of, yeah, it's a bit of everything. Like, I do a stand-up gig in various different places around the country, and we film little sketches, and I stay with the local family as well. That's one of the...
So you go and so you move in with the family?
Yeah, I stay there.
And you see how they live, I guess. So you reflect on the... so I guess you've chosen these families for those that will be more interesting. What kind of families you stay with?
I did a night in Bristol with some farmers.
OK.
And
so you did a bit of farming as well?
Did a bit of farming.
I think we have a clip there. We'll show that in a minute. But before we go there, which other ones? Who else did you stay with?
I was in Newcastle, where I went out and went on the Toon and got mortal on the Toon.
You went on the Toon?
Yeah.
And what did that family... What did that family do? Who were they?
He's a guy called Paolo. He was really sweet, and he took me out. And we went into Newcastle, and we walked into a bar that we were just going to go in and have a drink in, and they were filming Geordie Shore in it, which is like, has anyone seen Geordie Shore? Do you know? It's like one of those reality shows, like The Only Way Is Essex. Although it's not like The Only Way Is Essex. Geordie Shore makes The Only Way Is Essex look like Downton Abbey. Yeah. Like, they literally just have sex all the time on Geordie Shore. And they were in there, all these... Oh, there they are. You've got them up there. That was the one that came up and sort of hit on me. She wore a skin-tight fishnet boob tube. And I'm not like a fashion expert, but the skin-tight fishnet boob tube, that's quite hard to pull off.
It's quite hard to pull off. But, you know, they dress to please.
She was a girl that was no stranger to a kebab as well. Like, it wasn't a good look. No, I'm not being mean. When she walked into this bar, she looked like a manatee that had been hauled in by a sea trawler. It was not a good look.
How did you respond to this young lady?
Well, they sort of attacked... They cornered me, but in the...
Well, no wonder if you've been saying stuff like that about them.
I tweeted something about them at some point.
What did you say?
Watching the show that... I can't remember what it's something silly.
It was just off the cuff remark.
I said something about how it was on MTV and it should be on the Discovery Channel. Something silly like that. And they were cornering me. And they're like, why are you being saying all of these things about us? But in a sort of Geordie voice. It was pretty mad, though.
Your Geordie accent is exceptional. That really... That actually sounded more like a manatee than someone from Newcastle. OK, so we have a clip. And what's it called? It's called Jack... Hit the Road, Jack.
Yeah, Alan Partridge came up with the title.
Hit the Road, Jack. When does it start on Channel 4? Next month?
That's a good point.
I think next month.
I don't know. Next month.
Let's do it again. When does it start on Channel 4?
Next month.
That's some of the worst acting I've ever seen on this show.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. When does it start on Channel 4?
Next month.
Excellent. Let's have a... That's nice. Let's have a look at a clip. This is What's Up, Jack, or whatever it's called.
No, it's not all that!
Tomorrow at 5:30. Not gonna happen.
Not only did they get me up at 5:30, they also made me lend them a hand.
Left-handed or right-handed?
Literally.
What is that? Is bad? Yeah. Hey. If you're going far enough, you get lovely going.
So we've just been checking the cows to feel the calf's head.
You want to go that hole? In the top hole? The top one. Oh my God, I think we can go. You don't want to the top of the head. Just keep going straight in. Stop it! Stop contracting! It's having fun on my own.
You know, that is the glamour of show business right there.
That's my Rebecca Lewis moment, isn't it? I did that as well afterwards. I was like, because he was like, it was to check on the pregnancy to see whether the calf was all right. And I did it. And the guy, Will, who was the farmer, he was really sweet. I said, I cannot believe on television I've just put my hand in a cow's vagina. And he went,
That weren't the vagina.
On that classy note, ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in saying thank you? What a splendid guest and continued success to you. Yeah, lovely. Yeah. Jack Whitehall, ladies and gentlemen. Stop contracting. Jack Whitehall, nice job, thank you. We're going to take a break now. Don't go away because afterwards I'll be chatting to Hugh Bonneville, so see you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to the show. Just before we bring our next guest out, let me share this with you. Some big entertainment news this week, and this is genuinely big entertainment news. Simon Cowell has said that the winner of this next series, the upcoming series of Britain's Got Talent, is going to be sent up into space. That's the prize, which makes a change, because normally they just blast it into obscurity. But no, this time, into space. This could lead to the thing we all fear, a talent show space race. What if a Russian ventriloquist gets there first? And if the team got to space, at least Ant can finally meet up with his family. Just in case you're confused, that isn't a genuine photograph, OK? Before we get my next guest out, let's see him dressed properly as the Earl of Grantham in the fabulous Downton Abbey. Look at this.
You bastard. Stop this at once!
I presume you will be leaving in the morning, Sir Richard. What time should I order your car?
How smooth you are. What a model of manners and elegance. I wonder if you'll be quite so serene when the papers are full of your eldest daughter's exploits.
I shall do my best.
Oh, what on earth's the matter?
I'm leaving in the morning, Lady Grantham. I doubt we'll meet again.
Do you promise?
Will you please welcome Hugh Bonneville, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Hugh Bonneville, come in, take a seat. Great to have you here. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much. Miss Piggy is quite something. She really is.
She's not. Is she kind of being forward with you?
Well, not with me, but the Arctic Monkeys are going to have to change their name, I think.
Wow. So, congratulations on the success of Downton Abbey. I'm a huge fan, I'm sure. Do we have any big Downton fans in here? What a show that is. And really, what a great success it's been, not just here, all over the world. Do people recognise you more now because of that? And do they treat you differently because you play such a kind of character of wealth and breeding and just good manners?
No, is the answer. But, I mean, I suppose they do recognise you, more. And there's been an interesting difference between the first and the second series. In the first series, people would do what I call the supermarket turn, and you're probably very familiar with this, which is you're, doing your shopping in the supermarket, and it's usually a couple, a gentleman and a lady, and suddenly the wife will do this to her husband, and she'll go, "Don't look round, Dennis, don't look round." And so that's the supermarket turn, and then, of course, they just do a lot of that. And, but recently it's come to the zoo moment, which in the second series I've noticed that people have given up on any sort of being discreet about look who's over there. I was looking in a bookshop the other day, and someone came up about 4 feet away from me, said, Janine, yeah, it's him, it is him. Yeah, it is you, isn't it? So, yeah.
Well, it's such a popular series. People love so much. That's, I guess, why they want to see you. They want to say hi. Do they ask you questions? They ask you, what are the kind of repeat offenders when you get questions asked? What do they most want to know about the series?
Really, it's a story I'd like the answer to, which is what happens next.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe been one of the reasons the show's caught on, is that you feel you're watching a period drama like a Jane Austen adaptation, but in this, no one knows what happens next.
And there's cliffhanger after cliffhanger, emotional moment and tense moments. No one knows what's going to happen at the moment. You've got, what's his face? What's his name up for murder?
Mr. Bates.
Mr. Bates, I cannot say. Mr. Bates is up for murder, and, and you've got the daughters run away with the chauffeur, and it's all kicking off.
I know, and
Lady Mary.
Lady Mary, possibly getting married.
maybe.
You know. She said yes, anyway. I mean, I genuinely don't know what's going to happen.
So
next.
how soon, how long in advance of filming do you get the scripts? Because the next series you're going to start, is it this summer you're going to film it?
In a couple of weeks we start filming. We start in the middle of February.
So you must have seen some of the scripts so far.
Absolutely nothing.
What?
No. I mean, I know they've been written, but, you know, they're tweaking and fine-tuning and all that, and I've said before, it is like unwrapping a Christmas present. I really get excited each time a script, you know, plops through the letterbox, so I'm dying to know what happens.
I can't wait.
Especially if I'm still in it, I don't know.
Well, I think they couldn't do it without you. Well, you're in the opening title sequence. Well, it's not just you, it's mainly a shot of a dog's arse, is what it starts with.
Yes.
Which is an odd sequence to begin a big historic drama with. A dog's backside.
Yeah, with my name on it. Yeah. Yeah, I was very grateful to the producers for that, but since most of my lines seem to come out of it anyway, so...
But it must be fun to shoot, especially working with Dame Maggie Smith, who I've met very briefly, and I know she doesn't come on television shows like this, so we've never managed to go. I would love to have her on a show, but it must be slightly intimidating working with her, even though I'm sure she tries to put you at ease, but it must be something you think, it's Dame Maggie Smith.
Well, you can't help that, but, you know, really, when you think... You know, she played Desdemona to Olivier's Othello and that sort of thing. She's won 2 Oscars. And here I am sitting next to her at yet another dining scene in Downton Abbey with, you know, manky quail and that sort of thing. That's the name of the food, not an actor,
I thought that might have been one of the daughters.
We work with manky quail. But no, she is a living legend and delivers those, you know, fantastic lines that Julian's written for her and no one else.
Does she turn up wearing Uggs and a kind of a sort of tracksuit like everyone else, or is she?
Pretty much.
Oh, well.
Yep.
You know, you mentioned the dining room scenes there, and we had the 3 beautiful young ladies from Downton Abbey on the show over Christmas, and they told me that you don't hold back when it comes to a sausage.
Yeah, interestingly, the girls... you haven't probably seen the girls in public recently, but that's because I've locked them in the attic since they said that.
But no, they said that you particularly, they said, of all the actors, I'm not saying so, you particularly seem to relish the banquet scenes, and that the plate after plate of sausages disappears when you're there.
Well, you see, they do make particularly good breakfast sausages.
Wow.
And I did actually manage to get about 9 takes going once, you know. Even though we got the scene on the first take, I thought, that's a really good sausage, so, you know.
You're going to get the nickname 9 Sausage Bonneville.
Oh, don't.
That's what they're going to start calling you. I would be both delighted and I would be hugely embarrassed if 9 Sausages caught on as a nickname for you.
Yeah, I think you're working on trying to make it do that.
I'll be back with 9 Sausages after the break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away. Mr. Hugh Bonneville will still be here. Welcome back. Hugh Bonneville is with us, of course, the Earl of Grantham. The Earl of Grantham. Before, I want to ask you about 2012, the comedy series at the moment, but you have, you know, I'm thrilled that you have this success right now, because I think you were someone who, everyone's seen any number of things, but you weren't necessarily always, they didn't always necessarily put the name to the face. You know, I get the feeling that you look like there's a few other people, and I've often thought I've seen you in things and it's someone else. Do you get that a lot? Do you get people mistaking you for other people?
I've had the odd... Yeah, in the past I've had... I was chased across Sloane Square once by a paparazzo who wouldn't believe that I wasn't Paul Burrell.
Oh, that's so. Well, we have a picture. Let's have a look at you and see. There's Paul Burrell. People actually went. They gasped at the similarity there.
In fact, he could get. Oh my God, he could get a part in Downton Abbey. You know, wouldn't have to train him or anything.
Yeah. But you're more roguishly handsome than he is, if I may say so.
Hey,
okay. You get mistaken for Colin Firth. I think I've mistaken you for Colin Firth on occasion.
A few years ago, yes.
Look at that. The same slightly confused look in your eyes.
God, I look really terrified. Where the hell's that from? Bloody hell.
There was another name that came up. Please don't take this the wrong way.
Here we go.
Eamon Holmes. No, look. You could be...
Two very handsome men.
And so, have you ever done that thing where you have signed an autograph when someone has come up thinking you were Colin Firth, or...?
Yes. For a few years after Pride and Prejudice, I was able to, you know, dine out on being Colin Firth, but no, that seems to have died down now.
Congratulations on 2012. I hope you've been watching 2012. It's a very funny sitcom. Well, how would you say? I guess it's just about the kind of bureaucracy that surrounds the upcoming Olympics. Would that be fair?
Yes, that's about right. It's written and directed by John Morton, who wrote the rather brilliant People Like Us several years ago, and it's the same sort of, if you like, fly-on-the-wall type documentary, and this happens to be set against the backdrop of the Olympics, but it's really about any sort of management structure, be it from the from the village hall church committee to running the Olympics. And yes, so we've done one series, and there's more to come.
It seems quite believable to me. I don't know whether you've had any contact with people actually involved in the run-up to the Games, but it seems to me like it could be the way it is.
They thought we bugged their offices when they'd seen the first series, because some of the things you really couldn't have predicted. Our first episode was about the countdown clock going wrong, and it went out. It was transmitted on the night that the countdown clock went wrong. So it was a bit, you know, life imitating art and all that.
I can't wait to see. When is Downton actually back on? When is it actually going to be on our screens? You said you're going to film it now. Is it?
Yeah, we start filming in February, and it'll take five and a bit months. And so I'm guessing if the last 2 years are anything to go by, it'll be on sometime in September, I guess.
And please tell me this isn't going to be the last series.
I've no idea. I really don't even know what's happening in the next episode, let alone any future series. But, you know, it seems to have been embraced so hugely that there may be, but who knows?
You know, one way of prolonging it is, because obviously they're moving along in leaps and bounds, they could go back to the early days, and we could have the Earl when he was a young man, played by our posh friend right there.
Hey. It's obvious casting. What would the lady do?
I was just talking to my new lady of the manor, Miss Piggy here. Yeah, I wanted a micro pig for Christmas and my mum wouldn't give it to me, but I found one of my own.
Yeah, in your dreams.
Have you managed to get drunk in the time since you've left the house?
You ruined my chances with Miss Piggy. There's gonna be trouble.
I think you ruined your chances a long time ago.
You've only been gone for 10 minutes. How young are you that one glass of wine and you're drunk?
It's free!
Those were the days, weren't they, Hugh? Those were the days.
Later on, we're going to make a sausage roll. That was I didn't mean it.
Real funny.
I know.
I love the fact that Alex is sitting there pretending this isn't happening.
I think I'm gonna have to hold him back in a minute.
I'm fine.
Hugh, we've got a sneak preview of the next series of 2012, so I'm thrilled we can show this. I think it's a very funny series, and I guess this is definitely going to be it for this, because once the Olympics happen, you can't do any more.
Well, we've got 4 in the can, which will be shown, I think, end of March, and then we're hoping to somehow miraculously shoot 3 more before the Olympics to try and keep it vaguely topical.
It's a very funny series, it's got a great cast. Have a look at this. It's from the forthcoming series of 2012.
Ah, right. I've got a feeling that's Fiona Healy out there.
Yes, right.
Today of all days.
I'll just tell her to go away.
No, it's OK. I suppose I should just say hello to her quickly.
No problem.
Head of Legacy Fiona Healy has arrived for her first day in the ODC offices.
You two, welcome to Deliverance.
Oh, thank you. You make it sound like a nightclub.
Well, yes, no, we are pretty funky here. It's true, aren't we, Sally?
Yes.
Yeah, no, this is really annoying, but I'm just on my way out, actually.
Oh, sure, no worries, Ian.
Otherwise, I'd give you the full initiation routine myself, obviously.
Right. Well, that's a shame, but I'm a big girl. I'm sure I can figure things out for myself.
In the meantime, if there's anything at all you need, ask Sally, because she is basically running the Olympics.
OK.
I'm not really, actually.
Sure.
Well, great to meet you, and we'll do this properly later.
Sure, yes, absolutely, Ian. Bye.
It's the very funny 2012. It's back in March. Hugh, please give my love to everyone on Downton Abbey, especially Lady Sybil.
I will.
Hugh Bonneville, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Hugh. Great to have you here. Thank you. Don't go away, because after the break, I will be chatting to Kermit and Miss Piggy, plus we'll have music from the Arctic Monkeys. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. OK, I'm excited. I hope you are too. We're going to bring my final guests out. They are true Hollywood legends. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kermit and Miss Piggy.
Come on, let's go.
Last we meet, I'm so excited to meet you. I'm a huge fan. And the beautiful Miss Piggy, even more beautiful. Please take a seat, relax, get comfortable, and we shall talk.
Yes.
Fabulous to have you here.
Thank you,
really
thank you.
You know, I don't know if people know this, but of course the original Muppet Show was made here for ITV back in the 1970s. Did you shoot it over here? Was it shot over in the United Kingdom?
No, actually, it was shot in Elstree.
Okay.
In a little town we used to lovingly call Boring Wood. But it was Bourne Wood.
And, oh, it was wonderful. It was great. It was back during the days when they did, like, Star Wars there and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You know, one of the things I think we all loved about the show were the guest stars that you had on. Obviously, the Muppets were the initial selling point, but also you had some of the biggest guest stars in the world. Gene Kelly was on the show, Elton John.
There's Elton John with you, Miss Piggy.
Yes.
Stevie Wonder, Dinos. Do you keep in touch with any of those guys? Do any of your friends from that period stay in touch?
Well, you know, I try to keep in touch with all the ones who are still alive. It's more difficult to keep up with the others.
You know, I know this might sound odd, but you both appear to have hardly aged. It's remarkable.
Not much.
Oh, there's Piggy back in the day. I don't know. Look at that. That's a very different wig.
Wow.
Okay, maybe I had more than one or two things done, all right?
Okay.
I was still ravishing, though. Wouldn't you say, Kim?
No, of course I would. What else would I say? I can't get off the sofa.
Yeah. He's stuck right where you want him.
Yep, I'm right here.
So let me ask you about your relationship, because obviously there's feelings between the two of you. You're co-workers.
Sure, sure.
Is it for real, the relationship we see on screen, or is it is this showbiz? Is it just for the cameras?
It's much more intense.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, when the cameras are rolling, Kimmy gets shy.
Well, it's just,
He's a very shy frog.
I'm private. I'm a very private guy.
But as soon as we leave here, oh, boy, you better get out of the way.
Wow.
You're going to see me turn red. It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah. I don't want to be indelicate, but the idea, I mean, I don't know how it would work between a pig and a frog.
Yeah, well,
it works.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Frankly, I'm not sure it's actually illegal, but
I have, once again, don't get upset, please, but I have some pet pigs. And on the few occasions when I've seen a frog has got in near the pigs, I think the pigs have eaten the frog.
I can sort of understand why you might think that. After 35 years, I can get it.
He is quite tasty when I nibble on his ears.
Yeah, I don't have any left.
Sorry, I got carried away.
This is so peculiar, because I'm interviewing Miss Piggy and I'm staring into your eyes, expecting you to respond.
Am I not responding?
No, you are responding, but it's just kind of weird. Okay, let me ask you then about modern celebrities, because I know we've had a lot of the current big names, and everyone seems to love the Muppets. I know that.
Well, that's good.
But I was a little shocked when I saw Lady Gaga wearing this. I don't know if you've seen this, Kermit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed that shoot.
But we know you made up with Gaga, because afterwards we have this photograph, and there you go. Look at that.
Right.
Whoa,
yes.
You want to do some explaining, frog?
I'm not. You look huge on that sofa.
Piggy, you hadn't seen that?
No, I had not.
I'm not sure that's actually me. I think that's a turtle in a suit.
It doesn't really look like you know.
Well, yeah. You know what? Because it's very rare we see. Why were you wearing a suit there? Because normally you let it all hang, don't you? You're kind of free and easy.
Fortunately, I'm a frog. There's not much hanging going on, so okay. Yeah, no, I am the sort of the original totally naked actor on TV.
Yeah.
You know, it's just who I am. I mean, on after
I like it.
Okay. I was never. Okay, please. I was never a big fan of Miss Piggy.
How come?
For me, it was always Kermit for the win. Okay? But now, meeting you in the flesh, I can see what the fuss is all about.
That's what they call it. That's what they call a backhanded compliment.
Well, no, because now there's
I'll
a
give him a backhand if he wants one. I was about to get up off this couch and just bolt out of here.
Jack, were you fell for the charms of Miss Piggy?
I think she's really beautiful, and I'd like to take that pig back and put her in my blanket.
You know, I just have to say that after enough of what Jack's been drinking, anybody's beautiful.
Okay, the new film is exceptional. It's kind of, I love the Muppets anyway. I've always been a fan of the Muppets, but what I love about them is they tend to work for adults as well as for kids, but this is a film which is just about the perfect family film. You know, because it's
nice.
got a very...
Thank you.
It's got an adult sense of humour. It's got some great songs in it. It's got great stars. You've got Jason Segel there with you. The lovely Amy Adams. Jack Black is a cameo in it as well.
Jack Black, Whoopi Goldberg, Selena Gomez. Lots of folks, yeah.
Okay. What would you like to tell us about the film? Can you tell us much about the story? Would you like to give us the story, Kermit?
Well, it's actually about a little guy named Walter. And Walter is sort of the ultimate Muppet fan, and Walter comes to Los Angeles to meet the Muppets, and he helps us save our studio. That's a very truncated version of the story.
But mostly it's about moi.
Why don't you see the movie, you buy into it, and it's a lovely, and it's a heartwarming story, and this is going to sound faintly ridiculous, but I watched it on my own, and there were times when I found myself crying a little bit.
It's not ridiculous at all.
Let's have a look at the new Muppet film.
Okay.
What's the title of the new movie?
Well, oddly, they went with the title The Muppets.
Okay.
I don't get it, but okay.
The Muppets is the name of the film. It's out the 10th of February.
That's right.
And I'm saying this again because I would very much like my name to appear on the poster. It is the perfect family film. Here it is.
I don't see a doorbell, and the house looks empty.
Gary, throw me over. What? Gary, just throw me over already.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
1,
okay,
2,
3. That's good. Oh, good. No, it's
Guys,
good.
I think that's an electric fence.
Mary, it's Kermit the Frog.
Okay, buddy, head down. 1, 2, 3.
That's the Muppets. Well, you know, it's out February the 10th, and I'm not just saying it because they're here. I can't say enough good things about that movie. I just adored it, and if you don't go and see it, you've only got yourself to blame. You know, I've interviewed most people over the years, and I am genuinely excited to have you two here, but it reminds me a little...
Yeah.
Looking at piggies of the time I interviewed Barbara Streisand, because this is...
Yeah, I hope that's not a nose joke.
No, it's not a nose joke. No, it's not a nose joke.
That would not be nice.
It's not a nose joke. It's the hair and the way you carry yourself. It's the kind of glamorous quality you give off.
I'm not going to comment any further. I think it could be bad for my career.
Yeah, it could be bad for your health, too.
Is it? No, she's a beautiful woman, and you're a beautiful pig thing, lady. Piglet. A pig.
You know, I think you should stop, too.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah.
Hey, is the movie, have you gone in for any of the gimmicks at the moment? I know a lot of movies get released in 3D. Is the Muppets movie in 3D?
Oh, no, but let me show you this. Watch this. Can you get a real close up here, really tight? Yeah, watch this.
Oh, my goodness, it's like you're 3D right now.
I am 3D every day. What's the point of doing it in a movie?
Wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Incredible and very impressive.
I'm 3D
indeed.
all the time. So,
I'm thrilled you joined us here on the couch. I feel like it's one to tick off my bucket list to have met you guys.
Thank you.
Proper showbiz royalty.
Thank you
Ladies
very
and gentlemen, will you join me in saying thank you to Kermit and Miss Piggy?
Thank you. Thank you all.
Lovely to meet you. It's a real honour.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you also to Jack Whitehall and Mr. Hugh Bonneville, ladies and gentlemen. Next week on the show, I'll be joined by Keira Knightley. She'll be here. Comedian Kevin Bridges and David Beckham will be here as well. I know. Two good-looking men. Which one are you going to stare at first? But now, singing Black Treacle from their fabulous current album, it's the brilliant Arctic Monkeys.
Lately I've been seeing things, belly button piercings in the sky at night when we're side by side. And I don't mean to rain on anybody's cabaret. One of those games you're gonna lose, but you wanna play it just in case. Now it's getting dark and the sky looks sticky, more like black getting dark and the sky looks sticky, more like black treacle and tar. Black treacle, somebody told the stars you're not coming out tonight. And so they found a place to hide. Sundance Kid behind a synthesizer, and I tried last night to pack away a laugh and leave a key under the mat, but it never seems to be there when you want it. Black treacle.
Arctic Monkeys, ladies and gentlemen.
Watch an exclusive performance by the Arctic Monkeys on itv.com/Jonathan Ross now. And as Jonathan said, next week his guests include David Beckham. More chat tomorrow night as Mel C and Ross Noble join Adrian Chiles for that Sunday night show at 10.